G'day everyone, and welcome to the Carpathian countryside. We got some bad news about Ol Grandpa's farm. Unfortunately, he did not own the rights to the land when he sort of handed it over to us in passing. The bank came calling, they took the land, we needed to pay a bit of the debt off in order to not go to prison. So we had to sell the old truck, trailer, all our own equipment, and basically up and leave as to not get in any more trouble than we already were. So with what little money we got to keep, we flew out here to the Carpathian countryside and we got this old rickety truck. Unfortunately, the paint is awful. Not good condition. Very rusted. She doesn't look great. But she does have a great engine. And the interior is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So, what we're going to do is we're going to jump in her. We're going to go down to the store and we're going to pick up some contracts. We have no money and no land here. So we need to do work for these farmers, get some money in our pockets, buy our own equipment, buy our own land, and start from scratch to become successful out here. That was the plan with Grandpa's farm, but unfortunately that got taken away from us. So this is what we're doing. Sort of feeling down about it, feeling a bit sorry for ourselves. So the best thing I think we can do is get to some work and get started. Come on, old girl. There we go. So let's head on down to the store and we'll have a look at the contract board that they've got down there and see if there's anything worth us doing. Well, there has to be something worth us doing because we are broke as a joke. Luckily, in the current fuel climate, we filled up before we got here because the price of fuel is outrageous these days. Anyone that drives to and from work a decent chunk will understand that it is atrocious right now. So hopefully we can get some money coming in quick. I'm not sure how much land costs out here, but hopefully it's not too expensive. That's a 30 zone and we're speeding. Okay. Here's the store. Apparently they've got a notice board inside. So we'll get some contracts done. And we'll get some money in our pockets, eh? Don't hit anyone's expensive car, Brendan. Alright, engine's off. Let's go inside and check out the contracts. Okay, here are the list of contracts we have. We have no money, so we cannot do any fertilizing or spraying because we do need to purchase the herbicide or the fertilizer. We could do this where we pick up the bales. That's easy enough. Surely we just go and pick them all up, I would assume. There's 11 bales on that little field down there and then we just have to drop them back off at the sales station so we can just leave. No. Because unfortunately, we've been told that they have all of the equipment is already at the farms. They just need someone to drive it, so. Load and deliver 4 pallets of herbicide. These are new contracts. I've never heard of these things before. I think what we might do is we might try and do this chaff contract. Yeah, I think we'll go for that. We'll borrow those. So that's it. That's our chaff contract. We need to get to field 74. And then we bring it all down to the animal dealer. That's where we need to sell it. Alright guys, I just spoke to the receptionist in the store and she said that the fields we're looking for are way to the south of the town, way to the extremities of the area, and then we need to turn right after we follow this road, and the field will be about halfway along. She said we should see the equipment, and that should be our sign to stop where we are and start getting some work done. I saw that it said we were using I believe it's a class forage harvester, and I think we have a Fendt tractor of some kind. Nothing specific, but hopefully they're not in bad condition so that we can at least get it done relatively efficiently. But right now, we're just going to focus on driving and getting to the field. It's a very pretty area. I didn't get to see much of this coming in. So, very rustic, very old style sort of buildings around here. Lots of new cars though. I feel like a lot of people here have come from money. But the fields look to be massive from what I have seen. There's definitely no really small fields to catch up for us. So we are going to have to make a bit of money. Right now, oh, this might be our turn here. I think this is where we're going. Yeah, we'll turn here. Cross the train tracks. Just cruise down this road. You never go too fast down back roads. You'll hit some big ditches or some traffic that wasn't aware you were there and you weren't aware they were there. Oh, got some farm animals. See, we're going off the road. Oh, that looks like our equipment just up there. Let's see what we're working with. I think we'll park. We'll see what we can do. Do we park here or do we go across? Oh, we have enough room to go across, I think. Yeah, we'll just park behind the forage harvester here. Park in the bushes, put it under the shade. There we go. So what have we here? We have a field of sorghum that's growing. Whoa. Got a big Brantner trailer. A Class Jaguar 990. Oh, we've got a Fendt, and we got two trailers. A Fendt 942 Vario. Or Vario. I'm Australian, so I say it very weird. So we've got two of the same trailers and one big forage harvester. Oh, right. Let's get to it. Let's see if we can't make this thing work. Unfold the front. Get our GPS going. We'll do 2 headlands just to give us a bit of steering space. How are we? This is a doozy. Now, why is it not doing it here? So I have to unfold the pipe, turn on the harvester, is it going to do anything? There we go. We got there in the end, guys. We were too busy focusing on the trailer. We weren't looking at the header. We had to lower the header down. There we go. I knew they weren't trying to play a trick on me. I've never done forage harvesting before, so it's a good learning experience. Make sure that you put the header down. It's filling up pretty quick. Apparently we have to deliver 33,000 or 32,000 litres, I believe. Depending on how much our trailer holds, we might only have to do one trip. What I'll do is I'll fill this trailer up, and then I'll get the other one brought over with the tractor. I'll switch them over, and then when it comes down to it, I'll just attach the trailers together. I think I can do that. Yep, I should be able to. And then we'll head on down and sell them. This is pretty easy going, guys. We're going to be millionaires in no time. This is pretty fancy. I don't know how much money chaff's worth, but obviously it's worth a little bit. If the farmer was willing to get rid of a sorghum harvest. All I know about sorghum is that it's pretty good to make flour with, so if you're willing to get rid of that, that's not too bad. Surely we don't have to get rid of 32,000. There's no way. Let's have a look. They sent me the information. Yeah, 68,000. That makes way more sense. So we're definitely going to have to do a couple of trips. But that's fine. We'll get it all done. I might even see if the farmer can do the delivery, but I doubt it. He's probably got plenty of other stuff to do right now. So we're nearly at 20,000 litres. I'll be interested to see how much we can get in one trailer. We're going to get 36, roughly. Judging by the counter at the top, 36,000 litres in one trailer. So if we do the both of them, we should very easily only do one trip. So we'll get this done. What I'll do is I'll throw you on a time lapse, and then I will see you on the other side, guys. Alright guys, welcome back. Now this contract is a bit confusing because we only have to deliver 68,000 litres, I believe. And we've done that with the first trailer load. So I think there's an extra 800, so I think it's 68,800. But we have to do the field still. We have to finish off the field. So basically, I think we're going to get a little bit of extra cash. Will it be a lot? Probably not. Because I don't think chaff is worth that much money just to sell. Right, so there we go. Can I just do the rest of the field? I can. So potentially I could just finish this off. So what I'll do is I'll dump the trailer here. How much is chaff worth? I don't think it's worth anything. Yeah, I don't think you can actually sell it. I don't think it's actually worth anything. Which kind of sucks. There's compost. Straw. Grass. Yeah, weird. So, I think we can just finish... Oops. I think we can honestly just finish harvesting this field. We still have to deliver 800 litres. But, I mean, worst case scenario is it's worth a little bit of money, but even then we've still got 60,000 litres that we'll be getting rid of. Very strange. It's a very strange way of doing it. So we've got all of this field of sorghum and we only had to deliver, well, I'd say a third of it at most. Maybe half. Just under half probably. I'm not going to complain. I'll do the final delivery once I've finished the field. Because I know that I can get to 99% and then just sell the final amount. The final 800 litres. It's just a very weird setup. I've never done chaff contracts before, so it's just very strange. Also, I do apologise about all of the menus and pop-ups during that time lapse. I was trying to figure out the details with the contract. I still don't fathom how it works, but hey, if it's money in my pocket, you know, we can take it. It's probably not worth doing a lot of these. There's probably more contracts we can do in the same amount of time. I think it's been 2 in-game hours or something like that of doing this. So we can definitely look at what else there is. We should hook. There we go. So 96% of the field done. And we'll just get up this last bit. surely it can't store it in the actual harvester. That can't be what happens. There's no way. It doesn't have a limit. It must just chop it down. It's not too bad though. It's just very confusing. I don't quite understand it. But there we go. Field is almost complete. I wonder if it'll even say 100%. Probably won't, because we haven't delivered the last 800 litres. Just look at the contract again. Yeah, fuel progress is only 96%. That's crazy. So for this, you must have to do almost all of it. If not all of it. Very strange. This might be a contract to do when we really need money and there's nothing else to do. Because just doing it like this is very strange. If we get money for selling that chaff, that's awesome. But I really do not think we will. If we had a silage pit. Contract finished. Huh. Okay. Well then. I guess we'll leave it. He doesn't need us to deliver anymore. Very strange. So we'll just drive the tractor over. We'll just leave everything in the field. It's what he's asked us to do. We'll finish the contract. And look at that. $16,427 in our bank. That's not too bad. That is a good first payment, I think. So what we'll do, we'll head on back down to the store. The receptionist called us down there and said there's been a few more contracts pop up, so we'll head on down there and see. I wonder if they have like a phone app or something. If there's like a neighborhood community app or something that they post jobs in. Because driving to and from the store every day consistently is going to be a very big waste of our fuel. If they have an app, we might be able to accept the jobs from there. But we'll head on down back to the shop now. I'll see you there and we'll see what contracts we got. Alright, we're here. Pulling in. Don't hit the person's scooter. Motor off. Now she said there are some new contracts that have just popped up, so we'll just have a quick look. Ooh, okay. We have some bale wrapping. No more chaff. We've done enough chaff. Harvesting. Yeah, good money. Good money, but I think it'll just take a little bit too long. I wonder. Oops. I feel like bale wrapping's a good job. 3,000 there. For a very easy job of just picking bales up. Or even that's a baling job. We might be able to do that. I think we might do that actually. We'll call up Walter, let him know that we're on our way. Yeah, so we'll call Walter up and let him know that we're heading over to Field 13 and we'll start his baling contract if he just wants to make sure the equipment's there for us. Alright, so we called Walter and he said he'd have the baler and the JCB on the field when we get there. So hopefully it is all there. If it's not, we don't want to really be waiting around to make sure he gets what he's ready for or is waiting for, but it's the way it works for us. We got to kind of rely on them. Huh. Just some big empty grass patches there. Wonder if anyone owns these. Now let's get to the field. We're a long way away from affording any land. Yeah. I think the best thing we can do is get at least a piece of equipment. If we can get a tractor and sort of any piece of equipment to do contracts ourselves where we're not leasing or borrowing the farmers' vehicles, we get more money that way, so. Whoa, look at that. That is a big piece of kit. Look at the size of it. Massey Ferguson MF 2370. Ultra high definition. You might want to upgrade to the 4K. Alright, nice little JCB fast track. Let's get the baler on. And see how we go. This is a pretty decent sized field. It's not overly big. But we can only go 17 kilometers an hour, so it will definitely be slow going. I feel like it'll be a bit quicker than that chaff contract though. At least this baler just pushes them out. I don't have to wait for it to unload. It should just drop them as we go. So we essentially don't even need to stop. Wow. It's going to be like 8,000 litre bales. That's pretty crazy. Good chunky sized bales in this thing. Wonder how many we're going to get. We've already got one. And we're halfway around the headland. Or maybe a little bit over halfway. I say we're probably going to get 12 bales out of it. We'll see. It is very slow, but this JCB looks good pulling this. Pulling this Massey. We're off the side. This is my issue with trying to do cinematic shots. Is I cannot keep the thing straight. Okay, so two and a quarter is 10%, so we times that by 10, that's going to be 20 bales. 21, give or take. So far so good though. This is almost a full headland and we're going to get 3 bales out of it. Probably 3 and a bit. There's a lot of power lines in the middle of fields out here. It's a bit unfortunate for some farmers, I guess. But maybe they get a discount. For just, or a government subsidy or something for having that section removed out of their field. Did you drop one? Yeah. But this is going to be a simple contract. If the tractor could go a few kilometers faster, if we were hitting 20, that'd be golden. But 17 is the limit, unfortunately. So I'll chuck you on another little time lapse while we get this done. This one should be less finicky than the other one. We'll just get the baling done. And then I'll see you on the other side. And we'll look into what we can do. Apparently they have a very good used market here. A lot of the farmers sell their old equipment pretty regularly apparently. And there is a lot of it. So we'll have a look at that once we're done. See if we can't buy some form of a tractor. Hopefully nothing too old or too broken would be a good deal. We'll just clean up this little bit before I chuck you on the time lapse, if we can. Probably not, because I've messed it up. I have, that's alright. Get the ends. We'll go up here. Alright. Let's get locked into place and get the time lapse going, guys.
The night starts falling.
guys. And with that, we are at 94% of the contract being completed. It's definitely taken its time, but it also is nowhere near as bad as the forage harvesting job. This is very much so way more straightforward. So now, this final pass should be all we need. And then we can cash in, get our extra money, and then what we might do is we might check the used sales market and see what there is. See if there's anything worth purchasing. If we can get a decent tractor, or we're close enough to the cost of a decent tractor, we'll save up for it. If we can get a smallish tractor, that might be better for us because we're only going to be able to afford a small piece of land anyway. So it might not be good enough to do contracts for other people, but for our own little bit of land, it will probably do us all good. So what we'll do, turn the harvester off, turn the tractor off, jump back in the car, we'll cash in on the contract. Yep, so what, $9,600, beautiful. Sitting at a crisp $26,000 here in 2 jobs, so that's not too terrible. So we'll have a quick look at the used market, see if there's anything we can buy in here. Oh, there's that baler. It's $112,000. No, thank you. A couple little tractors here. Oh, the Big Bud. Very nice. Yeah, that's not the right tractor for us, I don't think. No, it's too skinny. That has the ability to be worth it for a little bit more money than what we currently have. See if there's anything else. Ooh. Oh, there's a couple there. That one, I think they're the same. That one's got less hours on it, but this might be not a bad start. 65 horsepower. If we get the canopy put on it, it's an extra 500. It only goes up to 71. I think we might wait for that and just see if we can get a bit more money. That's the same, right? Yeah. The same one, just with less damage. Not too bad, but I kind of don't want to spend that money for such little horsepower, you know? We could see if there's anything new, but I wouldn't be holding my breath for something too good. That's not bad. Oh, that's it there. That's the 2-wheel version. Okay. So we've got these all here. These are not too bad. A little 4-wheel drive tractor there for 20,000. Yeah, now we're getting out of our price range. This isn't bad. These little things here. I probably prefer this one. That's $500 more than what we have, but it can go up. It can go to 100 horsepower. That would be all right for us. to do a small field if we got a small field, depending on the area that it's in. But I think what we'll do is we'll stick to the contracts a bit more and we'll see what we can get to. So that's 130. It's not a bad little tractor. But I think we'll wait and we'll hope that something pops up. What I'll do is I think I'll head into the city or the little town. We'll go grab a bite of lunch and we'll speak to people in the town and see if any of them have any work going on that they want to give us. Hopefully someone there has something for a bit of coin that's not ridiculously difficult. I don't think the harvesting contracts are worth it, in all honesty. If we could use the grain for anything of our own, maybe. But just harvesting stuff, I don't think they're going to be worth it. So I'll head on into town. I'll chat to the locals while I'm having some lunch. And then I'll catch you next time with our next contract. See you then, guys. Goodbye.